You're watching Lansdowne Roar, your home for Irish football news and nostalgia. Coming up on this episode, Eddie Jordan wants an FAI Benefactor, plus summer football in Ireland, and we see how our boys in green got on across the water. All this and more coming up on Lansdowne Roar, live. You're very welcome to another edition of Lansdowne Roar Live. David Dunn here, joined by Martin Prendergast. And as always, guys, if you like what you hear and you love what you see, hit that subscribe button, scan that QR code, head over to our Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. And if you want an opinion, well, just you click on to greenmachinepodcast.com. It's the greenmachinepodcast.com. Still haven't changed it for opinion. And yeah, let's get into it. This is our first. Obviously, the big news of the week, other than Martin actually showing up. We'll get to that in a second. But big news, obviously, was the Nations League draw during the week. This is our first live interaction. So I'm going to say at the top of it, I want to hear from you guys. What do you think of the draw? Which one's he going to? And how much are we going to boo Decky Rice? Decky? Deco? What would we call him, Martin? Deco? Decky? What do you call him over there? In the Martin Prendergast Derby, by the way, in September. It's going to be a tough one for you, Martin. Who are you going to cheer for?
It's going to be very tough. I tell you, great to be on the podcast, of course. Dave, looking well as usual. Yeah, it's been a good week last week. It was exciting, wasn't it? It was long-awaited news. Like, we wanted that draw. We wanted the fixtures to come out. We've got them now. I'm just quite content that I'm in a good place. I know where I'm going to be for the rest of the calendar year 2024, if I'm obviously allowed. I know we were
on your wife's thumb.
Well, yeah, it's a little bit of that, but and that's why, again, let's put it out there, Dave. We're looking for sponsors for the podcast, of course. Help us subsidize this shit.
Yes, your £2 a month can help send me to Greece.
Yeah,
again. Actually, talking to I'll might be a little exclusive. I was talking to somebody on Twitter there. Great source, a quite prominent member of the sort of British and Greek sports, football sort of media. And I did ask, what's the story with the game in Greece? Is it going to be in Athens? And he said, yeah, it'll be in the old Pap Arena again in Athens. So there you go. Do with that information what you will. Hopefully they do a better bloody job of and actually open the 3 gates this time in Athens. But anyway.
Look, England and Ireland are fantastic draws for the other nations, Finland and Greece, because we travel in huge numbers. We're hoping that, it's going to be a good campaign. Obviously, it's a very tough start. 2 home games, I think, are a massive positive for the new manager coming in. And yeah, it's exciting times, though. Like, we have to be positive. We talk about the manager being appointed, he's going to be inexperienced and things like that. But, we're hoping to qualify for a World Cup on the back of this, in the sense that, we're getting ready the Nations League for the World Cup qualifying campaign. And we have to be positive. And, I'm going to kind of quote Nick on this, and Vera Pauw on the previous podcast of us said, the FAI reached out under Vera Pauw to take on the best nations. We've been lucky now that we've got really competitive games coming up. You test yourselves, you don't go down to the dregs, in a sense, and we've got to raise our game for this. And if you think about Ireland's kind of campaign, we're going to have 8 or 9 games this year. It's going to be competitive. You've got to raise your games. It's cup finals. We're playing England, one of the biggest teams in world football. So you have to raise your games for them. The old enemy, we have to go out and try and compete.
Yeah, of course. I mean, obviously, the games you allude to in March and the 23rd, we play Belgium at home, ranked currently number 2 in the world. And then we play Switzerland. I don't know where they are. I'm sure they're higher than us. That's on the 26th. Of course, we'll be live over there for those games as well. So yes, we will get to the Nations League at the back part of the podcast live stream. I see the comments coming in. So tell me about what you think of the draw, which games you're going to, what's your favorite one, what's your least favorite one, have you got any goss? We love a bit of gossip, that is. Martin, gossip. But no, listen, it's great to be on here. Thank you very much for your support. Some fantastic support on the YouTube channel actually over the week. Just want to thank you guys if you're watching any State of Play or just me doing the solo video. You are. Might move it on to OnlyFans. But no, thank you very much for your support. It is, without you, we're really nothing. Well, Martin wouldn't be. I'm sure I'd make it. I mean, wouldn't I, Martin?
You would, Dave. Yeah,
Thank you.
but we're looking forward to the games now. We know when they are. We're
Yeah.
making our plans to travel.
Can't wait.
It'll be good.
Can't wait. I booked more flights there. I'm traveling first class with Ryanair. Yeah.
What?
I'll talk to you more about that later on. Right, let's get into it. We don't have Nick here in the dulcet tones. We're going to get into OBIG. I still haven't done the bloody thing. The
music-y thing.
Yeah, sorry, Neri Nike. If he's watching, he's going to be giving out about me there. But not much to choose from. Here we are. Dara O'Shea goal for Burnley in a 1-3 loss, or a 3-1 win for Liverpool there in Anfield yesterday. Sammy Smollett's got a goal for Blackburn Rovers in a 3-1 win over Stoke City. Jason Knight got a lovely goal for Bristol City in a 2-1 win over Middlesbrough. And Dan Crowley got a goal for Notts County in a 3-1 loss to Gillingham. That's his 11 goal and 8 assists this season. I did have a look at that match of the day, actually, the Burnley game. Yeah. How's that going, Martin? How's the Burnley project going?
It's not going great, is it? But
is it?
We I think we just like to see what's going on. I don't mind. I couldn't put my hands up and say they're a struggling side, and I think a lot of people would have said Luton. I know they lost recently, but Ogbenny was getting praised last week on match of the day, and
hold on, we're not talking about Luton here. We're talking about Burnley.
No, I'm saying like
Burnley
you
would
have
be
to...
this fabulous.
No, I wanted. I liked. I liked
from Turf Moor. Plucked from Turf Moor and thrown into Anfield or Old Trafford or one of the top jobs in the country. Plucked with Josh Cullen at the helm. No, hasn't worked out that way.
No, I said that. I said I like the mentality of company, but he's playing. He's managing them within a kind of
the ship's sinking, but everything's all right.
No, but that's just what it is. When you step up to the top level, that it can be difficult for a manager. I think he done very well getting the championship, and that's just where they are. But we want Cullen O'Shea to do well. Going to
listen, absolutely.
The other day against Liverpool, it was Kelleher was in goal, wasn't he, for that one?
Yep, watch that. I must say, Dara O'Shea, I think I know the lads are going to be watching me, and well, hope anyway in the WhatsApp group. When I had a look at that goal yesterday, Connor from Republic of Ireland Tracker on Twitter, and Bill, Irish Football Blog as well on Twitter. And I have to say, I thought he was very poor, Kelleher, for the Dara O'Shea goal. It wasn't a bullet header. It was a good header, but Kelleher wasn't even anywhere near it. I thought he was very flat-footed for that. And I think Kelleher needs, that's what his literally a handful of games now he's played for Liverpool. He needs to move out of there. And he did okay. There was 2 chances, 2 1-on-1s where he made him, he just stood his ground. He just closed the guy down early. But, it wasn't brilliant. Like, the way they were going on a match of the day, and I know Klopp came out and praised him and said, this is why we think so highly. He wasn't great. I don't think he was great for the goal. It wasn't a bullet header. It really wasn't. It was a good header now, but
he's a competent number 2, though. That's the thing. And it's in...
yeah, but he's always caught cold when he plays for Ireland. So
and if that's his ambitions to just be number 2,
yeah.
Surely you have to have higher ambitions than that. He's got to go out to be a number 1 somewhere and really test himself. If you compare himself with Bazunu and Travers, like even on appearances alone, they're getting a lot more experience week in, week out playing football. And like, surely he's got to see, I need to play now. Like, it's all about, fine in when he's 35, 38 kind of thing, but he'll have played a lot less games than them, and he might have had a good career and stuff, but has he really been tested where it matters? And Bazunu's, I like the fact that he's going to have so much experience. Okay, being tested with Southampton week in, week out, but that's going to help us. That's going to help us.
He's 25 and he's played a handful of games for Liverpool.
Yeah, so he's really got to be thinking to be a number 1, to compete as a number 1 and take over Bazunu. I need to go into somewhere now, and I need to be the number 1, and I need to be playing week in, week out, so that I'm in the manager's mindset that this guy is now competing with Bazunu. At the moment, let's be honest, he's not competing with Bazunu.
Nope,
because Bazunu is playing week in, week out for Southampton.
But also, and there was one where, Burnley, really, if they had taken the chances, could have done Liverpool a lot of harm there. I don't know. Kelleher wasn't helped. It was a poor performance, I think, by some of the Liverpool defenders there. Still knackered, I think, after the Chelsea game, and obviously lost 3-1 at home. They're very bad against Arsenal. And there was one there where the guy, all he had to do was curl it, and Kelleher was beaten. and he just curled it wide. But Kelleher yet again was caught square. Yeah, I'm sorry. I don't really see what the hype's about. Fair play to him. He's doing well. I like to see Irish players doing well, but I think he has to now. This has to be his last season at Liverpool.
He's got to prove himself.
He's got to get out.
He's got to go away and prove himself, though. I think we haven't. We can judge him on Carabao Cup, a few games in Champions League, a couple of league games and stuff. But appearance was, week in, week out is where he's going to be tested. He has to, pass that test, and he will make mistakes. Bazuni's made a load of mistakes, but probably that you're looking at Bazuni's mistakes in the context of he's playing week in, week out. So, if you compare the numbers and stats and things, he's having 100 shots at him. Keller's having 20 or whatever it is, overall. Yeah. But you've got to be playing to be tested.
Yeah, no.
Coming in 100%. Cold is a massive thing.
100%. So we'll move it on there. It's not really a lot going on with the Irish players at the moment. Bit of news came out this morning in the Sunday Times. Paul Rowan story here. I'll just show you a clip here of his Twitter. Oh, sorry, we can't really see Paul's thing up the top left. Do you agree with Eddie? Paul Rowan asks. A friend of the pod. Good man, Paul. I do like him. Fantastic writer. Eddie Jordan, Ireland can reach new managerial heights with private cash. So, as we said at the top of the podcast, he's looking for a benefactor. Now, I was a bit surprised reading about this, some of the notes I took from it. So Jordan basically came up with the idea to get Dennis O'Brien involved in 2007. And it was actually the plan was back then was to hire David O'Leary. That was after the whole Stan debacle. And of course, Trapattoni would come in. Here's a quote from Jordan. Nobody likes to see somebody pleading poverty or see a crutch coming out, Jordan told the Sunday Times. The FAI should do it on their own, but if they can't, then it's time to come to private enterprise, entrepreneurial people who are passionate about sport. I'm absolutely sure that there are enough people in Ireland who have the money, whether it is new money from it and from IT and computer software, or old money like banking. He's got a point. That is one thing that, first of all, before we get into it, do you agree with Eddie Jordan? Would you like to see somebody, a sugar daddy for the FAI like Dennis O'Brien or somebody like that? Or should the FAI try to do it on their own and do it, for want of a better expression, properly? Tell us what you think in the comments. We will get to that towards the back end of the stream. It does amaze me because obviously this has come up again, hasn't it? Because JP McManus, did he give, €1 million to all 32 GAA counties or something like that?
Yeah, he did, yeah.
Yeah, now obviously,
look, tax reasons for that and things, but and he's not a football, soccer man, whatever way you want to allude to it.
Is he not an owner of Man United?
He was at one stage under the Cubic Expression kind of thing with the whole
sold it to the Glazers.
He did.
Tom Magner over the horse.
John Magner.
Over the horse.
Over the horsey goods. And that's the question, I suppose, for you, Dave. What would yours be worth? The breeding rights. Anyway, but in serious terms, they weren't really football men at that time. That was a business acquisition at that time when they went for Man United. You're not seeing, to be fair, JP coming to Ireland games, whereas you do see him at Limerick, GAA, and I'll be honest.
But do you think
piss off a lot of people now? But at the All Ireland, at the All Ireland, Limerick win the All Ireland this year, and they're walking up the stands to give him the McCarthy Cup and stuff. It's sports doping in some respects. I'll be honest, I think it is. I don't know enough about it, but the fact is he's putting lots of money into.
Yeah, but they are an amateur
and hurling. It is, but that's fine. But it is that because if it's an amateur association, you're throwing money in. Like fair play, he's giving $1 million to everyone else now, but and it would go a long way, but. At the same time, the Eddie Jordan thing, it's embarrassing, isn't it, overall? It was embarrassing, to be fair, that Dennis O'Brien never had to come in and give us money. It just shows you we weren't able to have our own house in order.
See, on one hand, I'm like, yeah, I want the best. Get the best in.
Yeah.
But then on the other hand, I'm thinking, you want to do it properly. How great would it be if we got a coach in like Lee Carsley? And somebody, if Kenny had done it, would have been fantastic. And we had got them there, and we did it through proper proper, structures and young players and playing a certain style, and we did it right. And we didn't have a sugar daddy coming in and have it like they could do it themselves. It would be lovely to see. But I do get I do see, if like, let's be honest, you're not going to get Jurgen Klopp taking over Ireland. It's just not going to happen at all. It doesn't matter what money you throw at him. Because guys like him will be very careful, like Pep Guardiola, they'll be very careful who they manage, especially Guardiola. So it'll still be a manager. It'll still be it'd be a middle of the road Premier League manager. It would be, wouldn't it? Because somebody like Steve Cooper would still cost you an absolute fortune. Would probably cost you about 4 times as much as what Kenny was on. Thereabouts. He was on €500,000. What 2 million? I think 1 million for a mid to top end championship manager a year. It's like 2-3 million for a middle of the road Premier League manager. And they're still good managers. Don't get me wrong. So, but yeah, I'd like to see. It is a bit of sports doping, but
it is, and it's beneficial to us. Yeah, no problem with it at all. And like Eddie Jordan said, there's enough rich business people in Ireland that they can throw money at the FAI in a sense. But like, if you think about the lad who's at Sports Direct, Mike Ashley, right? When we done a deal with him, we got in bed to him, right? With him and that deal, when it went wrong, Champagne Football, when it says, this stupid loan that we took out, and then it was the money was called back in, a ridiculous deal. But if Mike Ashley was from Kilkenny, for example, right, and he wanted to invest in Ireland, I would rather him put that money in via a sponsorship deal behind the scenes. We don't need to know it's you. We don't need to know that you're subsidizing it. I didn't like it that Dennis O'Brien was the one, big thing of, we'll have to wear the money.
Is that not actual sports doping? Is that not one of the things that Man City's accused of?
Yeah, but I just think, but do a sponsorship deal, like put it through the name of a company. So like, that's why they're around the stadium. That's why their names are there. That's why Sports Direct are all over the kids' kits when we're doing the football schools and stuff. Don't do it in a sense that maybe that's how it was, and I've not understood that. But I just think there's enough people there to attract money in, and the money we're talking about isn't, like Ed Sheeran sponsors Ipswich Town, right? Now Ed Sheeran's multi-millionaire, right? Dermot Kennedy has got a few bob. He's an Ireland fan, apparently. Westlife, they all had money. All them lads, like, they did have... Yeah,
Paul McGuinness. They were going to get involved in AFC Wimbledon at one stage.
Well, I said to you as well, the past, like, I think it's ridiculous that, like, Guinness aren't probably Irish Guinness anymore, are they? I don't know what their ownership structure is.
Sure.
But it's, right, that... Are they an Irish company anymore, though? Are they, like, as traditionally they were? Like, I think that should straight away be our sponsor with the harp on there. It's synonymous with Irish history and everything. And
British,
British
company, Diageo. That actually does surprise me. I think the last team I remember Guinness supporting, obviously got Cork City, but QPR in the English top flight at the time, in the late 80s. It's amazing that a massive company like that never has a Ryanair.
Yeah, but like also jockeys, like I watched, like Cheltenham's coming up in March. I was looking back at old footage of Cheltenham, and Guinness was across AP McCoy in 97 when he won the Gold Cup on Mr. Mulligan. Like, they were sponsoring things then, sponsoring Irish sport. Like, that was synonymous with Irish, like the rivalry against England with Cheltenham Festival, horse racing. Like, I can't believe that we've not gone out to them and said, right, you just jump on it. Aer Lingus, Ryanair. How come they are not being approached? Irish companies, and just go, right, support us. Like, it will work out for you down the line. Like, it will definitely work out down the line.
It's the biggest, it's most played sport on the island. And I know a lot.
Go for it and push it.
Get a lot of
maybe a little bit of desperation in that appeal, though. But just be part of our journey and what we're trying to do now and rebuild and trust us. That's the thing. It's the trust. That's what. That's
the problem. I think you just hit the nail on the head. That was trust, isn't it? The FAI's name. I think it's getting better. By the way, it's coming out of the mud, but it is still in the mud. And I think, the first thing you think of FAI, oh God, not that lot, not that shower. That's the first thing that comes to mind. And that takes years to wash up. That's why I was so angry about the whole thing with the CEO coming out. Now, fair enough, Sports Ireland took away the funding. No, you've gone against our memorandum of understanding. And then they went, no, look, we made a mistake. We're very sorry about that here. And then they put the funding back. But, when your name is already so dirty from Delaney and what's gone on before, it's You
It
know,
is though. Yeah,
it takes years to wash
the
that.
brand is damaged in a sense. Now, to be fair, Dave, our brand, Lansdowne Raw, we're not damaged. So if Guinness are listening, look, return the favour. I'm keeping you in business in a sense.
Well, you
Come
were
on, give
today, weren't you?
give some love back to Lansdowne Raw Guinness and come on board as a sponsor.
Yeah.
We'll
If
we'll
Ryanair,
put it out there.
if Ryanair come on and sponsor the Irish team, I'll forgive Mohammed. And that was his name, by the way. That was his name. Well, that's what he told me his name was, the handler that tried to charge me 70 quid. I will forgive Mohammed in Dublin Airport on that day for trying to charge me 70 quid.
Local lads, was he? For another day, Dave.
moving on before we get thrown off of YouTube. Christ, we'll have all the right-wing nuts going on here. Yeah, so, but yeah, no, it doesn't make, I'm going to move it on very quickly. I want to hear your comments on it, by the way. Do you agree with us? I don't really know what our point was. Do you agree with us
Eddie
anyway?
Jordan knows he's got loads of money. He's got loads of pals. He should be pushing, going, right, if Eddie Jordan's so passionate to promote and talk about Irish football and what they need to do, Eddie Jordan, put your hand in your pocket. You're a multi-millionaire, mate. Crack on. Get involved. If you really love Irish football, you can help it. You can get a consortium together and go, right, this is what we want, but in return, we want this. And
it
will help
BBC.
Irish football. Yeah, well, that's kind of it, yeah.
100%. Right, we're going to move it on there. What else? There was, oh, yeah. So the FAI held a general meeting on Saturday in the Clayton Hotel in Dublin. Good old Adam Clayton. He'll speaking of sponsorship, actually. So a couple of things were covered. We're going to talk a little bit in depth about potential change in the calendar, playing calendar, which I'm sure will go up someone's arse sideways. So Jonathan Hill, the CEO, Jonathan.
Jonathan, my mate.
John,
not my old friend John, my new friend Jonathan.
Your new friend Jonathan.
English John. We can call him English John.
English John, yeah. English Martin and English John.
He's never gonna talk to us.
No. We're trying to get him on the pod for a fucking interview and you're just fucking it all up.
That's the closest. Listen, the closest you're going to get to a lanyard now is literally looking through my screen.
Yeah, actually, I need to unpack my lanyards, and I think I'm going to get my. I've got a mannequin like you have there. I'm going to put them all on.
English John, and English Mark.
Listen, it's only fun. If anyone from the FAI is watching, we're only having a bit of crack. No, but I mean, they're good lads. That's what Roy Keane said. They're all great lads.
The trust is there. We are trusting them to deliver, though. Let's be honest.
Oh, yeah. No,
I believe in them. I think they will.
No, to be honest, all seriousness, right? All seriousness, I think they're doing a good job. It's going to take a while. There's a few bumps in the road, i.e. the payment thing, which is so stupid. But, I'm going to see what Mark Cannon comes out with. And we're going to talk a little bit about that. People are, having a go at him. Let's see what he comes out with. And judge him
results.
On that. Judge him on results. He's trying, they're trying to do it properly. Even Neil Lennon came out. I mean, he's hardly going to rock the boat, but he came out and said that he was dealt with diligently and professionally. And you don't always hear that about the FAI when they're getting a new management. Searching for a new manager. Anyway, we're getting sidetracked. So Jonathan, Hill touched on a main sponsor. Basically says that there will be an announcement and it will be imminent. But that was all he was going to say on that. That was at the Clayton Hotel in Dublin on Saturday. There will be no news. I saw a comment there. There will be no news on a new manager this week. So yet again, more conjecture that we heard from the Irish Mirror saying there will be a manager appointed in the week, blah, 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 blah. Not going to happen. Conjecture, lads. It's all conjecture. And we're not saying we have any inside information, but let's be honest. No one knows. No one has a clue where we are with the manager. No one does. We're just going, oh, well, it has to be a Nations League. There's a Nations League coming up. They have to have somebody in before that, so they're going to have one within the week. There's a general meeting coming up. Oh, they're going to have that. They're going to announce it, so it has to be within the week. It's just conjecture.
Anyway. It is, but and whatever they negotiate behind the scenes, they need to put it to the board. So it's going to be it'll be a board meeting. It might be secretive. It might go to the board. Then it becomes public knowledge. They have to get it ratified by the board. Let's not forget that. And so all you're going to hear is speculation and rumors. And yes, they've gone to him and whatever it is. But they've got to go and get it. Get it ratified.
We're not known for patience. I get it. We're not known for patience. This is what you have to do. They've identified somebody. They're going after him. And if they deliver Lee Carsley, and even if it's like a couple of weeks before the March dates, but they get him. And then you find out that they really they went after him, and then they kind of wowed him, and it works out to be a great move. Then Mark Canham will, he'll be lifted like John Delaney was in Jelena back in 2010. Do you know what I mean? All seriousness aside, they're going after the man. They know who they want. Let him get on with it. That's what I say. And hopefully we'll have an announcement in the next 2 weeks, hopefully. Anyway, also there was a ratification of Laura Finnegan, Dash O'Halloran, and Ursula Scully as board members to comply with government enforced gender quotas. So happy days. That's another little box ticked off, and I don't mean that in a derogatory way. It's just a memorandum of understanding that was handed down by the government. You have to do this, this, and this. This is another thing they had to do, and they've done it. So fair play. It took a while. They were supposed to do this in 2000 and the Genesis report. A lot of this stuff they were supposed to do the Genesis report. They finally got to it. So there you go. And then of course Mark Canham himself, or Mark, his football pathways plan. So last Tuesday, the Irish Independent reported proposals, easy for me to say, that Canham will be setting out, including a complete alignment. Jesus, I cannot speak. A complete alignment of the football calendar at all levels. The introduction of regional FAS and an evolved pyramid structure, amongst other changes. Here is a little headline I've got. So I took this little thing here. There we go. All senior and underage football to be aligned to same calendar year under new FAI plan. So that's what the headline was under. So just to touch a little bit more on this. The calendar year aspect generated a considerable amount of reaction and debate. This is about Saturday's meeting, especially when it was interpreted as a blunt switch from winter to summer football for all leagues, both adult and underage, that currently operate off a school year schedule. So basically, yeah, normally have summers off. Canham's vision is more nuanced than that. This is from Dan McDonald, by the way. And there is scope and debate around the active months within the calendar year structure. A core principle of the plan, however, is that a break in football activity for the summer makes little sense in the current climate, yet there are parts of the country where this exists. While there may be breaks to establish competitions for an agreed period, potentially introducing a split season of sorts, a reformed games program would offer opportunities to play different types of tournaments in those windows, particularly at underage level. Schoolboy football officials were silent on Saturday. Said he weren't too happy about that, but Canham was met with negative feedback from provincial football associates, with senior Leinster FA figures vocal in flagging concerns. League of Ireland Voices welcomed the proposed changes. And also there was complaints from small regional leagues who fear that changes around the pyramid and regionalisation might result in departure of clubs that are currently within the jurisdiction. Also, delegates were very unhappy that they weren't presented with a handout of the football pathways plan to take with them, and they want to receive one before media launch later this month. So basically, it's still very much at the planning stages. And Canham will spend this week on the road around the country for 4 regional roadshows, where he will set out his plans, with the FAI saying they will be taking all opinions on board before unveiling Christ, a finished article. Oh God!
Right,
ready?
ready? You ready?
Go on.
They've done this before, haven't they? Like
we've tried it, didn't they?
Yeah, they've tried it before. Irish football's. I'm not a favour with all the intricacies of it, schoolboys football, and I think that's one of the things of why we have to have someone on the ground who knows it, and like Brian Kerr, even Stephen Kenny would have known the structures of that and all the complications of the politics of Irish football. Okay, so because you've got to remember, we've come into this as Irish football, in comparative terms to, we're competition to the GAA and other sports and stuff. So everyone's vying for their little position in Irish society of what we can do and things like that. And really, if you were to pick up an Irish soccer team tomorrow, I'm going to use the word soccer, right?
Oh, you bastard.
A GAA team, right, and said, right, we want 15 lads to play soccer for us this time of year, and then you have GAA teams as well. You're vying for places, you're vying positions. We want our youth, I think, in Ireland, and even wherever they play, you want them playing as much sport as possible, getting as much experience as possible, competitive sport, of course, as well. So you have to remember that is the landscape of Irish sport in society. So trying to do this seasonal thing, I think I think they should have had more engagement. They obviously have had engagement, but you're going to have a lot of people against it when it's changing things that have been in place for many years. And
Yeah.
you've also got the GAA against you because I've said it on the podcast before. Kilkenny hosted a festival of football. John Delaney brought everyone from the FAI down there, done a big week of football down there. And whenever I spoke to John Delaney about Kilkenny, he was up the road in Waterford, and how do you get things going? I mean, Kilkenny City have founded. He says so hard to get things going in Kilkenny because it's just a hotbed of GAA and hurling, and to do that and impact on that, they've got fantastic teams, fantastic clubs. Evergreen, Thomastown, brilliant teams like going there and doing very, very well. But you're competing with GAA. The whole thing was, once it came to GAA time, the lads would go off and play that. So you have to be on board with that. My worry with Mark Canham and his pathway is understanding that it's fine to work that in a kind of urban setting. Cities will probably benefit because they're going to have a lot of people there to be able to play and do that. But when it comes out to rural, is it going to be successful with the numbers? You really need more engagement on it. And, they put it out to everybody. But this is the one thing, you have to engage, obviously, with the coaches and the administrators of the game around Ireland. And yeah, you're already getting negative feedback to it, and they backtracked on it before. This now is another thing what they're trying to do, and I'll be honest, whatever way you're going to look at it, his ideas, same as the Dutchman, is going to be the Englishman's trying to make us change our ways.
Yeah, and that might be
it's going to be a negative thing, and that's why you had to have engagement straight away from people involved in Irish football.
Do you know what? This is a real test of his mettle, though. He's going to have to go around. John Delaney, not a fan, but one of his biggest strengths was getting the local associations on board, putting on the charm, writing a checkbook, spending money like to quote Simon Jordan, like it's confetti. And Mark Canham, obviously, he can't give away money because he don't have any, but he's going to really have to put the charm on because he's going to have to win a lot of these guys over. If it makes sense, if it's right in what he wants to do. I don't know. Like Nick actually would be the perfect person for this.
On the ground, understanding it. But it's the impact of it at schools. It's a massive thing. And
Irish football's very
understand unique. It. And it's, it is. And that's the whole thing. It kind of makes sense in a way, the calendar, but the GAA is a massive factor in it. And if you align your whole season, even that is out of season with the transfer window at the professional kind of semi-professional level, League of Ireland, that's out aligned with the Premier League and other nations in Europe, I think is very important for transfers and stuff. But we just want people playing as much football as possible, especially the youth coming through in the grassroots, and that is something that the GAA is always going to be something that you have to have in mind.
Her brother once said, because he lives in the Midlands in Ireland, I said, why aren't you kids playing football? Proper football. And he said, there isn't a club. There wasn't at the time. And also the GAA, the greatest free crash going.
Yeah, exactly.
Fair enough. Right. So we're going to move it on. What do you think of Mark Canham's proposal? I mean, it's still very much in the planning stage. I think it was just a rough outline just to kind of gauge reaction, which obviously didn't go down very well. And we're going to hear more on that. I think later on this month, there's going to be a lot more happening as well. So we're going to move it on to the Nations League. This is our first live podcast since the Nations League draw was drawn. So here we go. England 2B. Group 2B. Jesus. England on the brain. England, Finland, Ireland, and Greece. And of course, the big game there is the English. We kick off that group on the 7th of September in Dublin in Lansdowne Road. It's the first time we played them in a competitive match in that stadium, or in Dublin, since 1990 with a 1-1 draw. Last time we played them was a boring 0-0, I remember. Was it 2014, was it? Wasn't it? Or was it 15?
13 in Dublin, was it?
No, it was 13 in
Wembley.
In London. Yeah.
Yeah, 14 was a 0-0.
Yeah.
Awful.
So tell us out there, guys. We're going to go through some of the comments in a minute. Which games are you going to? Which ones are you looking forward to the most? I've already. Which one's he going to? Actually, I'm going to. We're going to all of them. I mean, it'd be rude not to go to the England away one. I've got my tickets. Well, not my tickets, but I've got my flights for England away or England home. Sorry, away for you, Martin, isn't it? Finland. I presume it's going to be in Helsinki. I hope so because I've got a hotel in Helsinki and I've got flights to Helsinki. I don't know where else it's going to be. I have heard a whisper that the game in Greece is going to be in Athens. So I did ask a prominent reporter there, private message. I won't name names just in case, but yeah, he reckons it's going to be in the OPAP Arena where our 2-1 loss in the Euros was last year. Oh yeah, I put on when I advertised the last podcast that we did, I think I put it down as Deco's return.
Mm-hmm.
One guy started giving out to me on there. Hold on, I forgot his comment there. No, I don't. But he basically said, "Why are we commenting on this guy? We should be getting all our. Don't be concentrating on the English guys. We should be putting all our supportive efforts behind the Irish lads." Like, I think you've misunderstood irony there, mate. Deco's return, but anyway. Probably should have got a picture of it.
I did hear today though that I think it's unfounded, but that apparently the Gardaí are on about they want to make the England game in Dublin at a kind of 12:30 kickoff.
Did you hear that from that guy on Twitter?
I got asked that loads of times today. Yeah. I don't think that's. I said
that's a parody account. Were you not paying attention in the WhatsApp group?
No, I wasn't.
Because he said it was.
I had it sent to me.
Yeah, it's a.
But no, I had it. Sorry,
bloke.
I have been out. Sorry about that.
Why were you out, by the way? You said you were going to tell all our fans. Keith Jones said that, didn't he?
That's it. Yeah. Why was I out today?
Why were you out today without my permission?
Well, we've been speaking a lot about grassroots football, Dave, and we are supporters of grassroots football. And now we are Lansdowne Raw, Green Machine, formerly, and we did sponsor Enfield Town, the team I coach. And yeah, so I was out today celebrating 10 victories in our league consecutive. So 10 wins. I think that's not a bad thing that you can have in the league. So I ended up going out with a couple
having
of
10 pints.
Probably did. There is no denial of that. But yeah, I thought I'd celebrate a little bit with and we went and watched Arsenal West Ham. And actually watching West Ham against Arsenal, I mean, Declan didn't celebrate, did he, when he got a great. Did you see the goal, Declan's goal? Fantastic goal, right? Now he didn't do the celebration, of course, like that. Now when hoping he won't celebrate against us as well. But when we goals past them.
What was it? Somebody said in the group. It says if he scores against us in Dublin, will he not celebrate?
Will he not celebrate? Yeah. But I mean, look, we'll probably come on and talk about it. I don't want it to be all about Declan Rice. I think we have to move on a little bit, and they won't. We're not going to do that.
Come on,
but like a credible footballer.
Yeah. Well, we better not be about quotas and stuff.
I'm going to upset people who hate Declan Rice because I can't have.
He's a fabulous player. Like I saw him live for Arsenal. Sorry, I think it was against Arsenal. He scored. I was working at West Ham Stadium at the time, and I was put inside the bowl to watch it. And I was supposed to be doing security, but I was watching it, and I was watching him specifically. He was still on the fence, and people say, "Oh, he's not that good of a player anyway." If he goes to England, no, he was a very good player, and he's a fabulous.
I'm not getting it. I'll be honest. I don't get it. I don't get. Okay, he all he did was okay. We know what he did, but he's never ever slagged off Ireland. It's not like. A player leaves a club and then they say, "Well, they're shit. They had no ambition."
The points go down and the mask slips, Martin. What are you trying to tell us?
No, I'm not. I'm not having it. I'm not going to have it. Seriously, I'm not having it.
You're not getting what? You Declan Rice? Well, you actually going to defend Declan Rice?
I'm not defending Declan Rice. I'm just saying I can understand it completely with Declan Rice, and I wouldn't actually attribute the blame in a way to him. I wouldn't. Like I think Martin O'Neill and
I blame a fair bit Martin O'Neill and Roy
completely,
Keane.
But I think Declan Rice used the thing, but Declan Rice has never turned around and said Ireland are shit and I hate them and blah blah blah. Like I don't think the hatred levels there because he used the system of and the poor rules of everything to his benefit for his career.
because he's a chat,
But
like,
he's
but he's a
never been
cancer.
derogatory against Ireland or anything.
But he's a
I can't
fucking
have it.
no.
No, I can't
He's
have
not.
it.
No, he's not being derogatory, right? But he's a fucking chancer. Let's be honest. As we say in Dublin, he'd say mass. That's my issue with him. You know, when he's gone up the ra, blah blah blah. You know, can't wait
Yeah,
till we
but
get
he's a very
England right.
young lad then as well. Like,
No, I
yeah,
get that. No, I get. I know he has no clue what he's saying, right?
Mm.
But then all of a sudden he's come out, I'm a young Englishman and all that. He's just
He's for his
he'd
career
say
though.
any
Yeah, but
yeah.
modern footballers are fucking dickheads. Let's be honest. They do that. Like we're in another world if we think they're anyway different. And you know, like
Oh,
it's just that whole opportunity arose to
they're
him,
very
England, Ireland.
uneducated. Yeah, I know. Like they're very
No,
fair.
but it just arose perfect thing for him to be able to go. Like England want me now. Yeah, I'll go there because I've always felt English and stuff. But and I would judge him on that, but I wouldn't.
No, listen,
I
he
don't
took
know. I
3
just
caps.
think there's no like. I don't like. I find it kind of embarrassing to be fair. Like when Thierry Henry and Anthony Barry are back with Belgium. Like, don't let it detract by what we're doing now. Move on. Get over it. Like I'd have more of an umbrage with Thierry Henry with the handball than Thierry Henry being on the bench.
No, but that's a bit of crack, though.
It is, but it's a bit shit, isn't it? Really? No,
Not really. It's football.
Yeah, I don't know.
What do you think Anthony
I'm a bit
Barry's going
too
to come back
serious
to
with it.
You are
Maybe.
very serious. What's
Yeah,
what,
I just
where,
don't. I
what are
just
you
don't
doing,
think
Martin?
that I
Where's the
wouldn't
real
detract
Martin?
away. No, I wouldn't. I just think it detracts from everything. I wouldn't like. I just think don't give it any attention. Like fuck him. Like he's made his choice. See you later, mate.
Well,
There
you
go.
better close your eyes
Prove
and
him
ears
wrong.
when it comes to September. You better close your eyes.
Oh
and ears.
no, but I would rather, right? Declan Rice comes to Dublin, and I'd rather that someone goes through him in the first minute rather than the fans give any shit. I'd rather that. That's the message. The player does it for us. That's it. Rather than even giving him any, shit. Like Thierry Henry came to Dublin in the past, and Zidane, and we booed them and gave them loads of shit, and it just turns back and bites you. They're the player end up scoring, and then that's how they shut up the crowd.
Well,
just don't acknowledge it.
Well, Henry didn't come back and score,
but he played well. But Zidane did well. I think it was that with the Shea given an amazing save, or one of them was. But what I'm saying is they then
no, but that was
top players.
You get mixed up there. That save was in the 2005 game, the 1-0 loss at home where Henry got an absolute scorcher of a goal. He scored a great goal, but the last time he played against Ireland was when he handled the ball.
No, what I'm saying is but still, they're the best player. Yeah. We give them the bird, don't we? For some reason, like we whistle and Wolves whistle.
Football, like, I won't be. Hopefully, I'll be up in the media section.
Maybe I'm just upset because we don't have enough talented player to ever get the bird from opposing teams.
No. No, our players get the bird from some of our fans. Anyway, we're going to move it on to the comments and get through this here. We've upset a few people, as you can see already. The AIMO 1976 manager update. There is no update. The AIMO 1976, unfortunately, as I said there earlier in the podcast, Jonathan says there won't be an announcement within the next week, so we'll see what happens. Daniel Granahan. How you doing, Daniel? This is a tough draw. Finland may be our best hope at getting a win. Any news on when our nation will have a manager? Same question again. Nope. Won't be announced within the next week. Stephen Ring. Evening, lads. I think we'll finish second. Good man, Stephen. I might be a bit optimistic, but there's no way we can play as bad against Greece as we did in both games last campaign. I'll be heading to London and Helsinki. Good man, Stephen. Yeah, I mean, we are an unknown entity. We'll have a new manager. Don't know who it is at the moment. None of us do, but hopefully we'll be a lot better than the last time around. Daniel Granahan, does this tough draw scare managers or allure managers to Ireland? I think if it scares you, you don't want them anyway. And, you want a manager who's going to come in and go, yeah, I fancy that challenge. Apparently, according to Jonathan Hill and Mark Canham, it didn't actually, according to them,
no bearing.
It's no bearing. It's no bearing at all. Nuri Nurik, F6, lads. A live show at the same time as the AFCON final. Well, have a word. Tell them to postpone the final. Yeah. Darren O'Grady. There are easier draws for certain, but theirs will be lifted by a new manager with some tactical awareness, who may attract some new faces too. Greece took the piss because of Kenny's choices rather than having inferior players. Yeah, I'd go with that. I think it's fair to say that Kenny was not tactically, didn't have much tactical nous, bless him. Nuri Newick, and not going to England at Viva, potential for trouble, and as for the price of flights, well, I tell you what, I agree with you there. 90 quid. We spoke about it the other day on State of Play, didn't we, Martin? 90 quid for a Ryanair flight. That brings me to a point. I'm flying first class at Ryanair. Sitting up top with the leg room.
Oh, nice.
That's as close as you're going to get to first class with Ryanair. Yeah, my credit card, my poor credit card, my credit score is getting absolutely battered. Darren O'Grady. Speaking of that, do you think there'd be trouble? Do you think your lot cause trouble at Viva?
Why not? Did you say you're not?
I'm waiting till you were paying attention.
Listen,
your ears pricked up there, didn't they? No, I'll joke aside. I don't think. I think that you get the odd arsehole, but I think that generation has gone. You know, I mean, I was astounded. Wembley, the game in Wembley, I didn't see much in 2013. I was in the England section because it was the only place I could get tickets. There were a few Irish lads I heard, because I used to work at Wembley at that time, and I remember one of the managers there going mad at me. I was like, "Why aren't you for the Ireland games?" Well, I'm going to it. Oh, you idiot! I could have got you in to watch it, and paid you for it. Yeah, I want to be there. And he was telling me that was a few Irish lads in level 5, the real cheap. That's where all the action is, level 5. Trust me. And a few Irish lads were in there, but they got fucking dragged out. And a couple of them got a few boxes off England fans. Well, I mean, it's going to happen, isn't it? So I don't think there'll be any trouble, Martin. Don't want to jinx it now, but
no, they'll police it really well, won't they? They'll have to, a lot of their.
They'll be in the South Stand, yeah.
Yeah, the English supporters clubs, they, the tickets for that game will be through them, so it'll be well kind of policed and sorted through that. But there will be, if you. Right, it's going to probably depend on the Irish and how they administer their ticket sales, and they've probably got to lock that down on Ticketmaster. To be fair, some way, which they will be able to do.
Well, look, in 1990 it was different. 95, obviously, they had them in the top. They're going to be in the South Stand, and they're going to be. I reckon they're going to be marched to and from. The hotel or wherever they're gonna. I don't think there'll be any trouble. I wouldn't want to be in Dublin that night, though. To be fair, that'd be a bit.
Well, they get 3,000 if that. Well, they get 5%.
They might use it as a bargaining tool.
No, they don't have to, though, do we? Like we Wembley, we can. You've got to give a minimum. So 90,000, we're gonna get. Yeah. Good crowd at that anyway. And
it'll be loads of Irish in the English section as well. Depends, especially if it's a dead rubber. Moving on, Darren O'Grady. Finland, no great shakes, and we can match the France home performance. We might get something from England. Very optimistic, Darren. Stephen Ring. Keller has to leave. As it stands, he's the third choice for Ireland now. If he chooses to stay at Liverpool just to be a backup, he'll be given Scott Carson at City vibes. Yep, I agree there. 25 now. He should be a number one goalkeeper somewhere. I think he has the raw talent and ability to do that. Queefing Keller, if you're watching. Just get out of the club, man. And I'm a Liverpool supporter when it suits me. Raymond McInerney. JP's an Arsenal supporter, Martin.
Yeah, that's like saying that's totally irrelevant. He's not invested in it, is he? He's not going to Arsenal every week watching them win the league. There's other supporters out there who are high profile who are not like JP. They actually go to games and stuff. I think it's fine. No, I support them.
Yeah,
he doesn't give a shit about Arsenal, does he? No, unless he's getting his mate AP McCoy, tickets and things like that.
That's Sir AP McCoy.
Bitchy, but okay, you said it. Sorry, I'm not a big fan of the Knighthood system.
Well, I'm just upsetting people here. It's what
because I upset. Then you called me out on that when I talked about.
I didn't call you out on that, Martin. One of our loyal viewers and followers did. Okay. Just saying. But no, it's just you love your little horse racing, don't you? Little horsies. Stephen Ring. Speaking of those Westlife bricks. They've invested in a non-league English team instead of putting it into an Irish club. Why is that? As I said, when AFC Wimbledon were going to come out, Dublin Dons were going to come over to Neilstown, my neck of the woods, Dublin. There was talk that Paul McGuinness was going to get Bono invested and a few other lads. Ireland was a very wealthy country in the mid-90s. You don't really see it. Like, I don't know why they don't get a big consortium together of billionaires to invest in Irish football.
Because there's probably no money in it. That's why, to be very honest.
No, but like get them all together and say, right, we need to build up. Okay, they need a billion quid from the government. Surely they could raise a fair percentage of that if you got people like Eddie Jordan, you got people that are going to go into the grassroots. For example, if you go, I know there's a lot more too, but if you said, right, okay, you're from Dublin, so there's St. Pat's, Richmond Park, there's a load of money in there, do it up, spruce it up, tar it up, make it look really nice. Because the numbers are up, they're doing well. Season tickets are breaking records. However, you got to keep the fans coming back. They have to constantly improve facilities because it's the stadiums. Stadiums in the League of Ireland are really holding it back at the moment.
I think though with Westlife, like, correct, I might be wrong, but if you look at the Wrexham factor, for the guys' investment in that, and it went a bit viral and all like TV shows and everything about it. As an investment, they could probably go 2 years into this team and make money out of it and think that's on the back of that and then just pull out. Like, and it's not a long-term thing, is it? It might make
there's no
long-term loyalty with that.
There's no money. Listen, there's no money to be made in running a football club.
No,
there isn't. There just isn't. Even at Premiership level, there's no money to be made. That's what I'm saying. Get these guys to, put a certain amount of money into a pot and just work even on the facilities, on stadiums and facilities for teams. And even if we had to set up a franchise, I don't know, like in the Midlands or in a county that needs football, and set up a club, just so we have a vibrant League of Ireland. Hopefully one day will happen. But it's going in the right direction, but it still needs money. John Warren, Ireland team hasn't been the same since Zinedine Caban and Roberto Carsley. I've never heard Carsley call that before. Stephen Ring, imagine Ryanair sponsoring Ireland. We'd be playing Greece and the team would arrive in Rome. I remember the old days of Ryanair. It got a bit better. I remember flying to Stockholm and had like some place in brackets underneath it. I think it said Oslo. It's like a 3-hour drive on a coach to Stockholm International. Were you going to say something, Martin?
No, that's the standard thing, wasn't it?
Yeah, they're a lot better.
Barcelona is not Barcelona, is it? It's
Portugal.
Yeah.
Madrid. Stephen O'Rourke. Not a bad group. We got to get together and get out of it. When are they going to come out with the manager? Yet again, we don't know. Probably next 3 weeks, I'd say. I could possibly see. Hasn't he got games? Haven't the under-21s got games in February?
No, March. Week before.
Did you know the Azerbaijan away, I believe?
I'll tell you now.
Azerbaijan on the 22nd of March away, and at home to Luxembourg on the 26th of March.
And so too do England, which is managed by Lee Carsley. So, they've got to get their house in order, got to know what they're doing, because
that's what I'm talking about.
Oh, sorry, no, Ireland. I'm on about Ireland. Have got
no. I'm on about the under-21s, the English under-21s, because obviously Carsley.
Ireland away to San Marino. Sorry. Football? Are we an Irish football podcast? Are we talking about England?
We're talking about the potential. We're talking about the potential. Well, it's your accent, makes me think of. Well, I am actually in England, aren't I? No, did I read somewhere that Gareth Southgate is being offered a brand new contract?
They're looking to extend his contract by 2 years. Yeah. So, thankfully, your manager might get an extension of his contract.
My manager.
Oh, sorry.
Cheek of you. Goal.com reporting that new contract for Gareth Southgate. FA want England boss to stay on after Euro 2024. So there's hope for Carsley just yet. So, Lee, if you're watching, they don't want you. We do. And we need you. Stephen O'Rourke, again, if they want a good sponsorship, the man for the job would be Roy Keane. If the option was between Neil Lennon and Roy Keane, I would honestly rather have Roy Keane, because it'd be the same results, but it'd be interesting and fun. And the FAI would make a mint in sponsorship off it. As yet again, I don't know how you go from Lee Carsley to Neil Lennon. Lee Carsley to Neil Lennon. Polar opposites, but anyway. Daniel Mullen, do we have games in March? We do indeed, Daniel. Sorry, bear with me. Getting up my calendar.
Quick question then. On would you rather, if it's not Carsley, would you have Chris Hughton before Lennon? I would.
Yeah, I would. Yeah. But it'd be, my God.
No, I'll be honest. I was chatting to someone the other night. I was at the Donegal council thing I mentioned in the last podcast with Packy Bonner and stuff. I was chatting to someone, and they actually went off to the African Cup of Nations, and they spent time with Chris Hughton. And yeah, like he was just explaining like it's an absolute shit show with what he was doing with Ghana.
I
Like,
don't think
hadn't
he's
been
been paid, is he?
no, he
I
hasn't
think
been paid.
Nick mentioned that. Yeah, he
Just
hasn't been paid.
shit. So, you
Oh,
know,
look, there's
we
not
know that
against.
he. No, but I'm going to be hands up. You know, I before Kazi come in, I would have no problem with Newton coming in there, and I thought it was a safe pair of hands, and I would have
I
no
hate
problem
that.
now. I wouldn't have. No, I know the phrase is wrong, but it was in the context of Kerr that was used. But look, it would bring us a bit of strength. I think I want to see Carsley, but I think
You're on tonight. You are.
no, I want to see Carsley, but I don't want to see Lennon, and I'd rather have Newton and after Carsley. And I think I'm confident we're going to get Carsley. I think we'll get the deal done.
Listen,
I'm trusting the FAI.
I don't think they're going to stop until they get Carsley. I think it's going to be do you ever watch? Do you remember the A team?
Oh, enough money. Just get money. They'll work it. Like, announce a new sponsor and put half of that money into the manager, and there we go.
But you ever see the A team? Do you remember when you used to have to get BA Baracus somewhere? And you used to have to drug him to get him on the plane. Yeah, they'll probably do that. Probably drug Lee Carsley on that fucking plane. Fucking gunpoint in Abbottstown. Oh, that's actually mean. You know the
yeah.
do you know the Simpsons?
Murdoch.
No, do you remember the Simpsons? I'm gonna put that up. Actually, remember the Simpsons with Tom Jones? Hi, Marge, and you see like Smithers with the gun behind him. That's right. Keep smiling. Everybody's happy because there's no one else. There's no one else. If they thought it was somebody else, they would have moved on. They haven't because they've already missed one soft deadline. So they're going after in my opinion, they're going after Carsley. It's conjecture again. I don't know the full picture, but it would make sense that you would move on with somebody else. They haven't because there is nobody else. There's nobody else because you got Carsley and you have Lennon and you have Houghton and a completely different ends of the spectrum. So anyway,
I'm glad though it's not like Bruce or Sam and Robbie.
You cannot have a technical director.
Sorry, I did interrupt you there. Sorry, and you were
Sorry, Daniel.
You were researching because it's not off the tip of your tongue.
I have it here on my phone. Daniel, on the 23rd of March, we have Belgium at home, and on the 26th of March as well. That's a Tuesday. We have Switzerland at home too. I'll be over there for both of those games. Going to spend a week in Ireland, my home. I'm going to get off the run. I'm going to get off the runway.
If you're in Ireland, go to the games. Get out.
Go give the lads to support, even if it's Jim Crawford, Nick's mate, as interim manager, whilst to try to get Lee Carsley in. Get out there and support them. It is our country at the end of the day. Bit of support, lads. Alfie Connolly. Aidan Alfie. Hi, Martin. Would it be hard to get tickets for both England games? I had a look on Risk London website. Yes, Martin, as the Lord Master of Risk London over there.
Yes, I'm the very proud chairman of Risk London into our 40th year as a supporters club, recognised by the FAI as well. Look, will it be difficult to get tickets for both games? Home game should be okay. They'll probably be part of the duo package that the FAI release. More than welcome to join Risk London, and we'll do our best, obviously, with all supporters who join that fantastic club. So www.risk.org. Feel free to join up, of course. But yeah, we apply for every ticket that we can get. For the away games, the England game, numbers wise, we don't know obviously what we're going to get yet, but it does go down to this away portal that the FAI operate, and Risk London are part of that. So yeah, we can, if you've got a history, you probably obviously wouldn't have one with Risk London, but yeah, look, we can do our best, we can apply.
Join. Yep. Go to risklondon.org, RISSC.org. Join the club. You don't have to live in London to be a member. Give them a bit of support. They're a fantastic club. I'm a proud member. Martin is the Lord Admiral, Rear Admiral of Risk London there. It's a fantastic club. We have great events such as Aleem Brady. I'm going to actually take this little time out for Aleem Brady plug here. The Lee Brady interview from the Claret ring that Martin conducted, fantastic. It is on the YouTube channel. Do give it a view there. Fantastic. Some great clips as well. Proper audio and visual experience. But that's the sort of thing that we do at Risk London. So get on Risk London. Or is it risk.org? Is
risk.org.
it?
Yeah, risk.org. Yeah,
Risk.org.
do check it out. Do check out our socials as well. You can drop me a message as well. But yeah, look, we're doing our quiz night as well with the aid of North London Hospice on the 1st of March as well, Friday in the Claret ring. So anyone's welcome to that. It's a good crack as well. So come along to that. It's a good one.
There it is, risk.org. Go over. It's a great club. They do great things over there. Right, we're going to get back to the comments. See a few clown emojis. Jesus. Which one of us is that aimed at? Daniel Mullen. No relation to Larry. Because he's a junior. If we don't get Carsley, who do you think we'll get? Chris Hughton. Do you know, I could see them. I think I said a while ago, I could see them probably getting Mick McCarthy. I think Mick McCarthy or Roy Keane would keep the supporters off their backs. Even though it wouldn't be any good for the technical side of things, I think I could see them going down that route.
I think if Carsley's definitely a no, it just opens it all back up again, and I think then they could just go, right, let's just get bums on seats, and England and Roy could be box office.
It'd be Mick, safe pair of hands, all that stuff would be handed out, or be Roy, box office, and you know he can grow the brand of Irish football around the globe, blah 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 blah, sponsorship. And to be fair, he probably would.
I think it shows a very weak board, though. If they're going down this way of Mark Canham invested in him and his ideas and everything, his pathway, they want someone invested in that. And I think that's why, to be fair, Carsley's playing hardball. I don't have any problem with him doing that at all. And I think they've just got to get the money right for him, let him do his backroom stuff. They're recruiting.
I don't think it's money. I think it's more just conditions.
The trust as well. Yeah, but like they're recruiting like this whole thing of they're recruiting the backroom staff and things, and is he going to be able to bring his own people in? Yeah, he is, and I don't think we can be dictating that kind of thing too much. But you know, it's a business now, and they've got to have. I think what they're very cautious about the FAI is saying, right, you're in our system, and if it all goes tits up, that we sack everybody, and then they're left with nothing. So they want to have that kind of continuity between all the different levels and things, and they're recruiting obviously personnel in different roles, like doctors and everything like that. And I think the key thing is, you know, your management group could be quite tight. It could be assistant manager, 2 or 3 coaches, if you're a goalkeeping coach. Do you really have to say on a doctor? I don't know if you really have to have that much of a say. So, you know, that's just something that they're trying to keep in house and structured throughout the whole thing. It makes sense, doesn't it? If they had an FAI doctor who works with the under 21s, under 19s at one level and the seniors, they're coming into when they're progressing, you know, all their ailments coming through, or he's got a dodgy left leg or whatever it is. A bit more technical than that. I'm obviously not a doctor. He's got a dodgy left leg,
amputated.
But do you know what I mean? It makes sense in that, rather than losing a whole kind of backroom staff of this one does this, and you're going to have a beliefs of your kind of coaching staff and management of these things. You know, like even David Ford done a fantastic job, didn't he? With the psychology kind of stuff, but
actually we qualified for loads of tournaments then, didn't we?
No, but I think he done a good job with it all, and
I'm sure
maybe
he did. He's a good man. He's a
good man. Yeah. He's never
I've got an edge, Martin. I'm trying to move. Come on, we got loads of comments to get through. You bleeding going on about doctors and dodgy.
David Ford.
I think
you hate David Ford more than Martin O'Neill.
I love David Ford. Actually, he's a nice man, and he was in goal. He's pulled.
Sorry about this. Are we going to do the comments, or are you going to tell us the story?
No. I'm going to redeem that comment. I'm not going to let you get away with that, you cheeky bastard.
Martin O'Neill.
I've met Martin O'Neill as well. I remember it was the week after the Wales game. And I was giving out. It was on a different podcast, giving out about the Wales match, saying it was a crap performance. It was a crap performance, and it was just throw anything at the thing. And they're like, "Oh well, you bet you wouldn't say that to him if you saw him in person." But bloody well, I was drunk on the podcast. By the way, I don't drink anymore, but I was hammered. It's like I bloody well will. Saw him next week. It's like, "Oh hiya, Martin, great result last week, wasn't it?" I totally fucking bottled it. David Ford, by the way, lovely fella, and I remember I used to meet him at Millwall all the time. When he used to see the players coming in, lovely man. And I jest, obviously take the piss. They're a little bit of levity. Great for the tension. Cratesmore. Martin Fitzpatrick. Underage soccer will clash with underage JA in the summer months. Only one winner there. True. We touched on that earlier on. Aidan O'Brien. The Aidan O'Brien. JP bought Markets Field and gave money to Limerick FC. There you go. Yep. I tell you what, the Lansdowne are a good man for that, Aidan. I'm on about the player. Was there also a jockey, Aidan O'Brien? Is that a jockey as well? Or a horse owner?
Horse racing trainer.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah,
the greatest ever flat horse racing trainer.
This isn't a horse racing podcast, so back in your box, back in your stable. Yeah, Martin, I love the way the Roar faithful. Maybe we're going to coin that phrase. Are coming out and are picking apart what you were saying there, saying that JP McManus isn't a football man. There you go. He bought Marcus Field and gave money to Limerick FC. They may not exist anymore.
He's sorted out his own county. I'm not saying he's not financially dope. Limerick, he's going to invest. Adair Manor is all him. He's got the Ryder Cup there, and it's all about that. Like
just want to say thank you to the Roar faithful for picking apart Martin and his
JP McManus is a businessman first and foremost, and he's going to look after his own in Limerick without a doubt. And it's not much that he does that doesn't reflect on him in time.
What's that? What's that we're hearing in the distance? Is that you backing up? Is it?
Something backing up. That's just the fact.
The Raw faithful not having any of tonight, Martin. Kieran Boyle, how you doing, Kieran, in sunny Florida? Statistics show 73% of teams who wear Adidas or Nike qualify for major tournaments. Get cars Leanna once and for all. Hashtag away to Jades with a story. Hashtag give us Nike or Adidas. Oh, Nike. Yeah, there we go. That was a bit longer than expected. Good to hear from you, Kieran, over in sunny Florida. That's what I love about Lansdowne Roar. We have viewers all over the world. We actually do. Is that right, Martin?
We do.
Have you gone a bit quiet, Martin? Have you sulking a bit?
I'm not sulking at all.
You getting the shakes?
It's good to hear from Kieran. It's great to hear from him.
It's great to hear from Kieran. Just keep on your toes, Martin. That's what we do. Richard Daly. Looks like Neil Lennon is going to be Ireland boss. No one knows that, to be fair, Richard. Richard Joyce. I personally hope we get a Giovanni Trapattoni style manager. Unfortunately, we don't have other countries' players. Yeah, that's a problem. We just have to work with what we've got, and what we've got isn't great. Play it safe. We've potential. We've a lot of potential, to be fair, Richard. I know I hear what you're saying there in all seriousness. We've a lot of potential. And if Lee Carsley comes in, he's potential as well. Joachim Leiden. Calendar year soccer is a crazy idea being tried and abandoned. Any wonder we don't have an international manager in place with Abbottstown full of clowns. Oh, so it wasn't us. Thank God. That was the clown emoji I saw.
Oh, yeah.
I could have sworn it was at you, Martin. I'm just saying. I've had enough of those. I've had a few of those in Lansdowne aimed at me on my own page. Daniel Mullen, we last played England in November 2020 at Wembley. We lost 3-0. Yeah, no, I was on about the Dublin match. But yeah, that was Martin. You were there, Martin, weren't you? You
were there with Gary Spain, yeah, very good. Yeah. Well, not very good, but good experience. But to be fair, but weird experience.
Better. What are you saying? It was weird because you were with Gary Spain, or weird because it was?
No, just weird. Empty stadium and stuff, and watching Ireland struggle, and it was like because
it was bad.
You know, we had that proud record on our on show then, didn't we? To be fair, 85.
Yeah, your first England game, 85. Yes. You were at yeah. Neil Liam Brady scored a great goal against England. We actually showed him that. That's on the Brady interview. We showed him his goal, the 1-2 with Frank Stapleton. And who's the guy? Brilliant. Bailey, wasn't he? He balled the internet.
Gary Bailey, yeah. South African Gary Bailey was.
Right. Well, you know what say about those goalkeepers from that region, eh? Especially around that time. What do you say about Brucey Coughlin?
I don't know what you're on about.
They'll throw the ball. Never mind. Certain age of that one. I actually had a good chat with Liam Brady about that goal, in fact. Oh, I like this message here from Newry Nurick. Finally, a message and a comment from Newry Nurick that I like. What do you think of this, Martin? Will we give the people what they want? 17th November, Lansdowne Roar, live from the Claddagh Ring.
Oh. Look, we're going to keep this as quiet as the FAI are with their dealings with we're in negotiations.
We're in negotiations, yeah. We're not here to speculate, but we're in negotiations. You never know. You never know. John Nolan, we need to get a team first. Felix Unger, he's not happy, Martin, with you. Couldn't bear listening to quotas and box ticking. Guys, I'm off. Now, Felix, come on. Don't be like that. Hugh Clancy, miserable 3-0 lost last time. Yeah, fair. John Nolan, return of Ireland's Declan Rice. Yeah, that's the stuff. Archduke 8199. That 0-0 game in Lansdowne was one of the worst games of football ever. It was shite. Lizzie's anniversary is on the Sunday. Could this be an issue with black armbands, etc., for the game on Saturday? Shit, never even thought of that. Nah. I mean, the Irish team did wear black armbands for Princess Diana in Reykjavik in 1997. Yeah, 7. The return game, the 4-2 win. I don't know. I don't want to comment on it actually, but yeah, hopefully nothing bad happens at that game. Daniel Mullen, Rice played 4 times for his country. That's what's the worst part. I think it was actually 3 times, Daniel, but I totally get your
France, Turkey, USA.
USA, yeah. John Nolan, the media will turn it into a game of hate. That's what we're gonna do, John.
I don't know. I don't know. Like, you know, like it's the Nations League. Are we building it up that much? I don't know.
I love the Nations League.
No, but I'm just saying, is it
brilliant?
Does it get the whole right?
I will not hear you. I will not hear you badmouth, blemish the good name of
no,
the
but
Nations
like
League.
okay, so in the context of the Nations League,
tournament.
England got relegated, and do any England fans give a shit? No, because it's not about the Nations League, is it? It's about the Euros and the World Cup. Like whereas we're going up against them, we're thinking, yeah, it's a rival. Like you could probably ask England fans,
we're not a rival.
Who did you get? And they wouldn't give a shit that they got Ireland. It means more to us than them.
It's a one-way rivalry. I totally accept that. It's a one-way rivalry, but Twitter is going to go. I mean, it's going to be mental.
It will do it, and it has with the Declan Rice stuff, which I don't.
Yeah,
you know,
which we're not going to get involved in.
No, I don't have a problem with it, but I'm just. Yeah.
Oh, poor Martin. What? Why are you so sensitive? Is it because of the whole plastic paddy thing? Is that what upsets you about it? Genuine, I'm asking you a genuine question.
No, I think I've probably just moved on so much more than it, and like I think it really bothered me at the time when I was convinced, to be fair, that he was going to choose Ireland, and I think it would have been a big message to second, third generation Irish that we have a really talented player going to pick Ireland, and he played for us. I think it hurt an awful lot as well, to be very fair, but I don't get the abuse of him, because I think that's not helping us down the line recruiting, and we're going to have other players down the line who will qualify for both nations. And I think if you're bringing that level of hatred in and shit into it, to be honest, you're just going to alienate people. And I think that probably did turn him a little bit, because I don't think he expected that. I'm not saying he got lots of abuse, even for kind of
I think it was
thinking about going. It was, but I just think we should have gone all out. Martin O'Neill should have capped him and forced it earlier.
We don't need to go.
I hated all the shit going on.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, I get it. Blue and gold. The FAI going up against the GAA. Only one winner there. Jude Ski. Any thoughts on Parrott being linked with bigger Dutch sides like PSV? I prefer he is somewhere with regular football, and something about him in the UK wasn't working. Yeah, I think it's only good for him. Obviously, he'll want to go back to England. He'll want to be playing in the Premier League, as you do. It's the #1 league, let's be honest. But I think it'd be a good platform to get his head right. I think there's a player in there. I think there's great ability in there. He was banging him in for the under-21s. He was banging him in for the under-23 Spurs side as well. So he has ability, but he just needs to. I think he's got his head straight now. There was maybe questions about that a few years ago. Maybe went to his head a little bit, and probably we weren't helping either around the time. I'm not saying we were we were probably one of the
cheerleaders. We're not the cheerleaders.
Yeah,
but like, we wanted him to do well ultimately. But
yeah,
my thoughts on him is like fantastic that he's doing well there, and he's been linked with that, and got no problem. Like I think it's very hard for an Irish English player, in a sense, to make it in English football. To be fair, coming through like he did, a lot of pressure on him. I love the fact he's gone over there and is tearing it up. Really, he's doing really, really well.
He's a player.
He definitely is a player.
He's a very good player.
But he's not the player that a lot of fans think he is. He's
not an out striker.
No, he's not. So, but he could be that little linking, like number 10 in the whole. He could be that, and he's fair play to him. I admire him for going off there, right, and going,
Yeah.
he's got to hit the ground running there, do well in the Dutch league, because he knows now Obafemi. He knows Evan Ferguson's the main man, right?
Mm-hmm.
How am I getting that Ireland team? It's against Obafemi, a different way of playing, of course, different players.
Obafemi,
But then he's coming into here. He's got to adapt his game. I think he's done really well doing that move, and fair play to him doing so well.
Yeah, 100%. Stephen Ring, I say the only team Bono will be investing in will be following Robbie Keane at Tel Aviv.
Don't upset Bono's number one.
Oh, don't upset me. You watch it, Stephen. Leave Bono out. I'm probably the only person in Ireland left that likes Bono. Well, not so much him, more the band, I suppose. Stephen Ring again. Speaking of Wrexham, Rob McEllery originally wanted to invest in an Irish club, but got talked into looking to the EFL. Yeah, I mean, let's be honest. Wrexham, I think now they're League Two, doing all right in League Two actually, but their infrastructure would be, I'd imagine, way ahead of a lot of clubs in Ireland, and there'd be a pathway there, especially if you get to the Championship, you get into League One, the Championship, the money as well would dwarf anything that you'd get in the League of Ireland. So I understand it, but my point is, I still stick by it. Let's get a conglomerate of Irish billionaires and put money into Irish football, and just build the facilities. Newry Nurick, it's Boyzone, not Westlife, who've invested in Charlie, and I'm ashamed I know that. Well, if anyone's going to know it, it's going to be you, Newry Nurick. Kieran O'Shea, why don't the FAI go to bed with the GAA? Plenty of GAA stadiums wasted, because the GAA, I don't think, would really go for that, Kieran, if I'm being honest with you. Look at all the hassle he had to go through. Now, it was about 20 years ago of trying to get Croke Park opened up, but even that was for like £1 million. And, you know,
even though for the Liam Miller game recently,
Liam Miller, perfect example. That's the fuss that caused just for a charity game, because they could sell Turner's Cross so many times over. I'd like to see it. I'd like to see cooperation. Look, Casement Park as well. That seems to be another thing that's happening. That just doesn't seem to be getting off the ground. It just don't go well together. Tallaght Stadium, I can remember, just down the road from where I'm originally from in Dublin. It took years to build because it was going to be a football ground, and then then it was supposed to be a GAA ground. I don't know the absolute ins and outs, but I remember it was then the GAA wanted to be a part of it, and then it just got stuck in football stadium limbo hell. Eventually got built and had the North Stand open, actually, with the President's Cup the other day, which was fantastic. So anyway, John Nolan, Robbie, and Big Sam. Jesus. Archduke, thank feck. Neil Warnock has gone to Aberdeen. I like the way now we're not swearing too much in the comments. Have you noticed that? We're gone very corporate. Remember in the early days, you could say what you wanted because nobody was watching it. So I didn't say it. Well, I like that. That's good. We are, by the way, pretty much uncensored here. You can have your say. We're not like other podcasts. We won't give you the easy speak. We'll tell you what we're thinking. Sometimes you won't like that, and we'll let you have your voice. And you won't agree with us all the time. We won't agree with you, but we'll let you have your voice within reason. And I think you'd have to really go quite hard for us not to air your opinion. Stephen Ring, if the FAI want box office, just saying Jose is available. I'll get Eddie on the blower, the Jose. Daniel Mullen, there's obviously something big with Carsley that's stopping him becoming manager. I think most of us feel, Daniel, from what I'm hearing, and it's conjecture, I'm going to put my hands up to that. We have no inside information on this, but from what we can see, what we're hearing, we're piecing it all together, is that I don't think the money's a big issue. I think it's more conditions. It's backroom coaching staff. It's how much is Canham involved in that. Obviously, the Kevin Kilban piece came out last week, where I think he was basically saying, back in your box, Mark and Jonathan, because if you're pulling the strings from behind, the manager is the one out in front facing the media. The manager is the one out in the front getting absolutely lambasted by fans, by the media, etc., etc., etc. So if he's going to be under that sort of scrutiny, let him have as much control as he wants, because let him manage his own destiny. I think that was it, Martin, very quickly, wasn't it? It was just let him be the master of his own.
Well. Yeah.
Let him be the master of his own destiny. Yeah.
Results, and let him bring his own backroom staff in. Let him Contractual term is another thing. Can he go if anyone wants to come in for him? That kind of thing. He probably wants that in place. He's coming into a trust environment with the FAI as well. He's got to be able to trust them and know there's not a shit show behind the scenes.
They were through the
all
bad
undermine
old
them,
days,
you know?
90s and the Delaney era. So there's they have to convince him. I think that's the big one. They have to convince him we're not the old FAI, that you manager Lee Carsley will not be under the same FAI as player Lee Carsley. John Nolan wants Harry Redknapp. Maybe a few years ago would have been a decent shout. Pat Kremen, with a good manager, we have some good players and we have a good record against England. We will win group. England relegated. Those two traitors playing for England. Good man, Pat. I love your optimism. I do agree. I think with a good manager, we could get some decent results. Might be a bit too optimistic. Imagine
Pat, I'm the positive man of this podcast. Thank you.
Yeah.
You're stepping on my fucking toes.
Not anymore, Pat. Good man, Pat. I love it. The Raw faithful just absolutely tearing Martin apart. Brilliant. Normally I do that week in, week out, but blue and gold. This is going to be the last comment, guys. Blue and gold, big investment going to happen at a soccer ground in the southeast. All I can say for now, but watch out, 6 to 9 months out. Oh, maybe a little bit of exclusive there. Thank you very much, guys. Thank you for your comments. We do try to get through them all. Brilliant stuff as always. We do. We love you guys coming in and watching us during every Sunday live here on Lansdowne Roar Live. Well, but knackered after that. We will be back during the week. We're going to have some state of plays. Obviously, if a manager is announced within the week, we don't expect it to be. That's what's coming out in the media. But any other news, we should have states of play on Tuesdays and Thursdays. And if there's any other bit of news, I might come on and do a quick solo video just to keep you guys abreast of the situation. But again, I just want to say thank you very much for your support. You guys are fantastic. We're trying to grow the Facebook page. Sorry, the YouTube page. I'm Facebook, but YouTube page. If you wouldn't mind, please subscribe. And if you also wouldn't mind, please tell other people about it. If you like what you see, love what you hear, or something like that, do hit that subscribe button. Do scan that QR code. Do head over to Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. And if you want opinion, head over to thegreenmachinepodcast.com. That's thegreenmachinepodcast.com. We're going to leave it there, guys. Thank you very much. I'm David Dunn. He's Martin Prendergast. And this was Lansdowne Roar Live. Good night. God bless. Should have had that lined up really, Martin, shouldn't I?
It's still live.
I know. I don't think they've noticed, though. Here we go. Good night.